Welcome, Maggie and Perloff, hanging with you on this Thursday. And I don't even know where to start. We got a surprise visit from Cluck Norris today. I'm going to reveal my college football fandom today.
Just everything. A normal Thursday in the Maggie and Perloff studios. What? So Cluck Norris stopped by. You're picking a team. I pick teams all the time. Every day I pick a new team.
It's true. And then, of course, Russell Wilson signs a massive contract extension today. 5 years, $245 million, $165 million guaranteed. Russell Wilson, who the Broncos already, traded quite a bit just to get him. So I understand, Perloff, why now you double down and you give him the contract extension. You've made the commitment to Russell Wilson. But how are we feeling about this one? I don't know. We kind of take for granted that these quarterbacks just age well. Russell Wilson's going to be 34 in November. And are we just kind of penciling in that he's going to be an effective 40-year-old quarterback? Why do we think that's the case again?
Because everybody is. Who's not? Look, they just signed Aaron Rodgers, who's 38, to a 3-year, $150 million deal. Guess what? Russell's not only is this contract going to pay out well, he's good enough. He's going to get another contract. Would you look
get
at
one when he's 50? What does it matter? I guess.
What they done? Tom Brady is 45 and he's about to ball out. He's going to be MVP. The other MVP is 39 and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, does Russell Wilson play like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? Do you think their games are the same?
He's got similarities to Aaron Rodgers. He just runs a little bit more than Aaron.
No,
if you look at the stats, they're not crazy different. But Russell has slowed down a lot from his early running days. Yes, I think he has a lot. He has a lot in common statistically with Aaron Rodgers. They're both incredibly efficient. They never throw picks.
Right.
So, yeah, I do think he's profiles a little bit like Aaron Rodgers.
I guess I'm just looking at someone who, and I know last year he was hurt. I'm not going to take last year as gospel on Russell Wilson.
His numbers were not terrible last year.
And meanwhile, they weren't bad.
With one finger.
Despite the fact that wasn't he rehabbing the thumb 20 hours a day? That's commitment to the craft.
His injury, I had a mallet finger. I had the exact same injury. It is the worst.
And how did it affect your MVP odds?
I was runner-up MVP for my pickup basketball league. The thing about Russell Wilson, too, just think about that injury. He would wake up in the middle of the night to rehab for an hour.
Yeah, that's an old wives' tale. That's not an old wives' tale. That's like a myth, right? I thought he just created that as a story.
My point is Russell Wilson is insane. If there's anything he can do to be good at 38, he will do it. No, I don't think it's a myth. I think he's a nut job when it comes to stuff like that. And I think that's what the common characteristic of Tom Brady can play to 44, 45 because
Russ can play to 41 with no drop off.
I think Russ can. I understand what you're saying. Russ relies on his legs more than those guys, and that doesn't typically age well.
Brady never runs. But remember, he ran for 11 yards, and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness," all hail Kyler Murray 2.0.
Totally. But Brady does move around in the pocket, and the funny thing about Brady is he moves better in his 40s than he did in his 20s. I saw a drill the other day where he was running around these cones and throwing the ball. He could do that at 25. He used to be much slower.
He wasn't wearing shoulder pads.
You will admit, there is something going on with older athletes. And Russell's not even going to be that old.
Is 41 no longer that old for a football player, for a quarterback?
Okay. I'm only looking at 5 years. Okay. It's $165 million guaranteed. I think this is
he'll be 39.
He's
about to be 34 years old in November. He'll be 39.
I almost feel it's a team-friendly deal because this is going to be peanuts by the time that 5 years is up.
No kidding. But this is somebody in Russell Wilson who I understand why the Broncos made this move, and we celebrated the move. Of course you make the trade for Russell Wilson, no doubt. I even understood it from Russell's point of view, why he wanted something new. I think this is exciting. If you are the Denver Broncos, Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere. Justin Herbert isn't going anywhere. These guys are in their mid-20s. You have to do something, just like the Raiders had to do something. You have to trade for Devontae Adams. You got to try to compete in this division. You can't just seed the division and let the Chiefs and Chargers go back and forth winning for the next decade. I get it. But this is also someone, just as I'm looking at the extension, someone whose quarterback rating has been steadily falling, and somebody who I just wonder how Russell Wilson's game is going to age. Not just because he's so great with his legs and has been so effective. He's got a cannon for an arm, too. I'm not saying that. But he's also a shorter quarterback, right? And you always wonder about when he's just going to be, if he is, forced to be in the pocket because maybe he loses a step. Now you're a short quarterback in the pocket. And that is something that's historically like never been an awesome combination. So that's what I wonder about Russell Wilson and this contract.
I'll give you a model. How about Drew Brees? He was pretty good into his late 30s, short in his pocket.
But think about it. Even later on, though, in the late years of Drew Brees, they were bringing in Taysom Hill for every throw over 30 yards.
Yeah, it's because he was hurt. That wasn't because he was short. I think Russell's got a much stronger arm than Drew Brees.
Well, that's what I was saying. I thought Drew Brees lost a little in his arm at the end. Obviously, he was 40.
I think he had a shoulder surgery. Or no, he might have had a shoulder surgery, but he had definite shoulder problems. There's nothing to indicate that Russell Wilson's going to have any health problem. The guy plays all the time, except for last year, and that was a freak hitting a finger incident. I think if Brees' last good year, I think he was 37, 38, and Russell's just stronger than him. So I think he could be fine. Also, these deals, we're really not talking about the whole length of it. They're going to rip up. If he's that good, look at Aaron Rodgers. He's 38. They just gave him the biggest contract.
Yeah, he's the highest paid.
Yeah, so
by average annual.
And Brady just is 44, just threw for 5,000 yards. I don't think age is a concept, Maggie. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Age is a concept that does not apply to the NFL. I know, but even Big Ben was ugly at the end. He was still he put up 5,000 yards at 38 or 39. I'm telling you, quarterbacks, it's in your brain. It's not your legs.
Well, then Russell's going to play till he's 60.
He's a very smart quarterback. I think he's going to get better and numbers are going to shoot up because he's also leaving Seattle, who never wanted to call a pass play. He's going to Denver with Nathaniel Hackett, Mr. Aaron Rodgers coach. I think his numbers are going to go up. I think he's going to have a Tom Brady-like statistical renaissance.
Wow. All right. Are you picking the Broncos to win the division?
Oh, no way.
Just double checking on that.
I don't think that him throwing for 5,000 yards is a sign of strength necessarily. Like Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards. They were great in Seattle because they were conservative, and then they said, Russ, go win the game. I don't think Denver does that. Now they say, all right, Russ, you can actually play in the first, second, third quarter to get some points going.
Yeah, right.
We don't need a close game to win.
Well, I get the sense that I don't want to say he's calling the shots with the offense, but he's calling the shots with the offense, right? Like, I'm not trying to disrespect the coaching staff there, but Russell Wilson is wanted to leave Seattle to sort of throw the shackles off, right? Like, he wants to show everyone that he can cook. So I think he's going to have a lot to say. And I think it's going to run like how Russ wants it to run, quite frankly. And that was just when they had traded all these assets for him. Now they've doubled down and given him $165 million guaranteed. Of course, he's got the biggest voice in the building. He definitely does.
If you're Russ, though, don't you want to listen to Nathaniel Hackett and say, hey, whatever you did there for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, we know athletes, I'm sure that he respects him, but you don't think that Russ wants to finally put his stamp on things after listening to Pete Carroll all those years?
No, I think he wants some of that Mike Holmgren, Andy Reid, Nathaniel Hackett magic. I think he wants to tap into I think he wants an offensive coach. I think he wants a system that actually works. It was terrible in Seattle. It was hand the ball off. Okay, it's 2nd and 9. Hand the ball off. It's 3rd and 8. All right, Russ, what are you going to do? Hopefully Tyler Lockett gets open deep.
Yeah.
I think he's chomping at the bit to get in a modern offense. So I think you're right. If he doesn't get 30 attempts, he might visit the coach's office and have a say or two. But I think he's willing to try out this new offense, and I think he's going to be good in it. Why wouldn't he be?
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I also would just pose this, and again, I understand why this contract extension happened. You already doubled down on everything you traded for Russell Wilson, so of course you're going to commit to him financially as well. He had 2 years left on his deal. This is a 5-year extension. But I'm just doing back of the envelope here. If you just gave me like a draft and I could just, pick whatever quarterback I wanted to in the NFL, right?
Sure.
How many do you list before you get to Russell Wilson?
8.
Probably, right?
And what does he pay? He's the 5th highest paid money.
Well, now for average annual, I believe it's 2nd.
Oh, well... Okay, but he's 5th in guaranteed money.
Okay, but these are big numbers that put him very high on the list. And if you just were to ask me, like, how many quarterbacks would you take before Russell Wilson? There's quite a few.
But the issue is that the next guy up always gets the biggest money. Lamar Jackson will probably be the highest paid quarterback.
Right.
And I don't think he'd be top 3 for most. I think people would go how many years are we talking about? Just to start a team?
5-year extension.
5 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to... Well, listen, let's hear yours. I mean...
Well, I said Brady, Rodgers, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
You're not going to do Brady.
Well, I know, but I guess I don't know. Brady at 50? Why not?
Maybe
right?
you will do Brady.
And I feel like I'm actually forgetting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you rather have?
I'm not sure everyone would agree on Lamar Jackson. I think a lot of people would take Russ.
Well, it's a different kind of offense you'd be running, right?
Yeah.
You just got to understand.
I mean, Russ, if you look at Russ, these people have been throwing out stats. Russ is, since he entered the league, second in the touchdowns, first in winning percentage.
Oh, he's great.
Third in passer rating. His numbers are insane. Wait, who else do you have? Let me hear it.
I had Brady, Rodgers, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and I feel like I'm forgetting people. Oh, yeah, Mahomes. Ugh, duh.
Yeah.
Silly me. Should have been first.
Yeah, I don't know if people would agree on all
those 9.
names.
Okay, you want to give or take Lamar Jackson? I still got to 8.
You mean you might put Deshaun in that list?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting about Deshaun, too, because of...
He's not playing right now.
And all of his baggage.
The other thing, too, is... Yeah, push comes to shove. I'd like to see Justin Herbert knock off Russell Wilson in a close game.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Wilson he's got the pedigree. He's got the Super Bowl win. He's got another appearance. I mean, he can win big games.
He's always reminded me of Tom Brady, who early in his career, Tom Brady won because of defense and special teams in New England. Then his numbers just got better and better and better. What happened with Brady is their offense, they finally got a high-octane offense around him. That never happened in Seattle. They had good receivers. Denver has a capability, when you look at their personnel, they have that capability of really running a fast-paced, high-octane offense. And would that be fun to see? Maybe if Russell Wilson throws 45 touchdowns this year, not out of the question at all.
No, his career high is 40.
Yeah, he could easily be in the MVP conversation.
I think that part of the move to Denver was to get himself in the MVP conversation, quite frankly, because he's never had a vote, And so I think that he wants this for the team aspect. I think he wanted to change. I think that he also wants it for the personal aspect. And then, so I just feels like a lot. I wonder, do we just pencil in that these quarterbacks are going to be good in their 40s? And it's because, we've seen guys who have been good into their 40s, but Brady's like blowing everything out of the water, Rodgers.
You're jumping so far ahead on Russell Wilson. He's 33.
I know, but you just signed him for another 7 years. So whether you think they're dummy years at the end or whatever, somebody is making a bet, and it's the Denver Broncos, that he's going to be really, really freaking good for the next 7 years. They're hoping that. Yeah,
I see this as almost a team-friendly deal. I think they're thrilled.
Wow.
And the other bigger issue that we talk about a lot, the rest of the NFL teams are like, phew, you did not give them $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a big one. So after the Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed contract, we've been waiting to see if quarterbacks are going to try to use that, and their agents are going to try to use that and say, I want my client to have a fully guaranteed contract. But so far, all the contract extensions that have been done this offseason, none of them have been fully guaranteed. Kyler Murray's wasn't, Derek Carr's wasn't, and now Russell Wilson's isn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone else who signed an extension this offseason, but none of them have been fully guaranteed. Right now, it's Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Watson.
I think some of those were before the Deshaun contract anyway, but the guaranteed money, too, is not creeping above 200. That's important, I think, to owners, because they don't have to put that much. You could do like a baseball contract, $450 million or whatever. But as you've pointed out many times, putting that money into escrow has got to kill the lower end owners. Yeah, I mean, some teams just don't have the cash flow like that. Yeah. But hey, when you're owned by one of the heirs of Walmart, cha-ching, right? Why not? New owners of the team, they took over like 2 weeks ago, and then they signed Russell Wilson to a massive contract extension. Do you realize 2 years from now, he will be the 12th highest paid quarterback in the league? 2 years. There's so many guys coming up ahead of him. I know. Well, of course. I mean, it's a revolving door of who gets to claim to be the highest paid. We could debate Russell Wilson all you want. The truth is, every quarterback's going to get paid. It's just, since we've started, it feels like if there's any debate, just pay the man. Well, because you'd rather have a quarterback than not have one. And the Denver Broncos, since Peyton Manning left, have understood what that's like to just be drafting and missing on guys. I mean, it's not fun. Yeah. And also, they signed Case Keenum at some point, signing free agents. That didn't work. It wasn't his fault. Oh. I just want to point out they've gone tall, they've gone short, they've gone medium, middle. They've tried every single thing since Peyton Manning left. Yeah, it has just been a cornucopia of quarterbacks, and I think all they needed was 1 month of Russell Wilson in camp. They're like, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want. Here's a blank check. Yeah, you fill it out. Here's the stats, by the way. This is from our buddy James Palmer. Since Russell Wilson entered the NFL in 2012, he's second in QB wins with 104. I assume Brady's one. He is In passing yards per attempt, he is 4th. In passing TDs, he's 3rd. In passer rating, he's 5th at 101.8. He's got the numbers. Will they sustain for 5 years?
And will they equal Super Bowl victory for the Denver Broncos? Thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Just hit the bell.